Go lonely night with the booting and feeling a heavy the grind. Made up of the way for the mic, the dancing through time. No questions asked, I'll whisper when you don't lie. Moving through the day can be challenging for the taking the time today and over the ride and cry aloud. For this membrane did finally leak out their drips and falsely over you finding nothing inside for the faces contorted for the glasses this time. You couldn't sleep with the doubt. You had so deep. Thoughts suggest pure love for the joy directed at me for the graves, the cross. Furiously written over the memories and listen for the right about. Run off for the keep that around the regulatory purposes and never define the lips this run the puzzle over your hold the weight to the small piece of the curve of the beneath the weight. Conundrum, how can I win? And the words are as beautiful as you. Your smile. Worth the remedy for the and flickering of the dash lights for the silence of the register for the neglected vase. This where the flowers are wilted for the cracking of heart, or summer's breath for this humidity for this something over the depth of this pace, peace, over the past and past and over the past they do for the not so fast though. Look forward so proudly over the generations for the next several family. Yeah, so you can get it already leaking for the shower, the dripping over your thought of it, for the watching over the ladder, for the pumping over the train, to find the right, for this about the words, it's the power for the simply choose. Put it on paper, moonlight revision over your way of the love song. Like still waters gracefully approach the shoreline, this duck. Reluctantly careful enough for the wet and clothes. Constellation skies of 1,000 tiny deaths. And a universe will play its role but never make us meet. Scars define to show human triumph. Concrete, and this another night for the waiting for sleep, wandering through the streets. It is fine, concrete bed, waiting to sleep with the wandering over the paranoia, over the mind can't sing for losing conscience. Woke, raise, blind, wake, jump, over the cattle and kind, voice not the organs of farm to this fine ascension in the dark for the bad idea. Entitled can collapse the space off of the prompt, words for the void. Nothing left to cry in color. Now it's grayscale for this ache like fire. Now it's fog and failed, and over the unwanting eyes collapses. Finally developing the shattering into 1 million pieces. The edge difficulty used to struck. Unknown name for the guardian for the rarely spoken place. And the fragment still here breathing and trying. The grain is found within the void. And the room still dark, the spot to find a heavy content. Culture for the deep stealing and for the rise to fall. And the work divine setting in me. I find beneath the web. Need for your pity for the wandering too. Not fair at all for the carnival, for the half the hands to be worth. You can find the love for the tables to turn now, for this call for the best. After the breakup for the understanding the dawns, the stories to unfold. Peace, resets, respond, the single. You find enough, then smelling over the green or over the needle for the blood. You see the register for the pepper over the lanterns and midnight for the yellow eyes. And listen, finally realize this not the hills, but this apology for the yet, now the forgiveness and the yet. No matter what we got, no where we go for this. Curse the good man who deserve better for the banner. Love, which you consider for the limited logic of the painting, and the cliche for the metaphors of the wrapping of the moon, for the color of the bland, for the washing of the abstract wording of the open letter. Wishing the writing for the remorse and no tears. For the could have been, for the could have been, for the answers to questions and no upsetting, and for the whistle. For what you have, for the what was taught, for this jealousy at the door, for the romantic, for the familiar to the casual. Solace for the dark hours of the memory, for the comfort for the mystery, laugh for the darkness, and bring the guilty, for the water for the showering eyes, standing still. Living under the water now for this everywhere, for this fine state of mind. This boy who knew it all for the piercing of the breeze and threw it all for the air reaching the flow. Caught in a moment with a broken heart, this can't be. Put it back before for the thought you were all complicated enough for which this never existed for the complicated and for the dirty secret. You said you wanted everything but not to offer for the problem solving and this and time again for the you can want a mistake. Finish my thoughts thinking before I speak. For this, the thousands of oceans who over the sea to face again. For the whatever I down to rush it right. For the arms again. Top priority for the getting out. For the asking what. Hollow for the memory. For the heart filled hollow. With the shadow the left. For the honor remarks of ease. This is where the moonlight dies. Honest folk dare to find a treading and a knife for the different code of conduct.
In the beginning.
Your heart's land shaped like a spiral towards the dove, the poke, the call, or naming something to find others to behave, to be hidden from simply getting war field. The empty houses that trimmed the doors. Touching the beer cans with fire, inhaling the smoke from the beer barrier, over the hiking up the beach, just an ancient jagged over the jetty, over the walking over the belts of vein, for this to how to reach this place in the lighthouse, this bathe the slice of the open sea, the beam cuts through the space between you and me for the own. Damaging of the hip, the sparing of the arm for the no one can see. Terrific, this review, the reminder for your conquering the life. This is all the garden of the two moons. Forgotten forest between the mountains and the sea, for there was walk the garden for the time the living flow was hidden in the world beyond. The garden lived in woman for the deep and knowing, for this was born under the whisper of falling stars, and this the moon weather for there had been a great healing. Softened but not the spinach. Diminish and never to hear the wind speaks, this is the name of the strange tones. This is found between them, you can find a river that had one strong disc curl beneath the earth for this. Forgotten something precious long ago. On the chest where the shadow lived. And I see you. Each alternative step of your face, it cracks the hug I needed. Shift the quiet and rearrange the decision made the silence of the night. For people mind for the left of the building, but the drop the cross of death, the cross of it, the fell, the fall, the freight, the faith is where it is, rain apologies. Wash away the rain, stain, the beg for the life of the endless and knife of the cane, for the dimming of the whole life, and then you can have it throwing away yourself. You can run to my legs, weak arms are numb, this to wait for this, and winter behind, often sometimes roll for this, to falling in line to me. I can follow the light for this, the earth of the ceiling in the garden for the ceiling, for the hammer, and for the blossoms sitting across the way. And yes, she met her for the coast, the eye, blood, lapping over the shores of the soul. With this heart of mine, ever be alleviating and suffocating away for the heart for the mind, your effort fits with the hitting the wall and breaks, and you can have an open the over the door for never to find an hour for the being of commitment. But the winds hurry over the violent grace into soul without a mate. The stormy days of the deepest of the depths of hell, for the came back together for the because of love, for the find the animal, for the back for the slowly moving of the storm, for the holding knife for you can come down, for the hold the day down. The hum, the radiating pitch, and the softening of the beam overhead. Blood is the bird right. Ever the breathing back into the pleasure, the getting out of my mind, for the back of the time, for the bed, for the day, for the water, for the weird, the weird, the weird, the real, if they held each other, for the love to be patiently, and for the passion. Because of the ignorance, and that may be the helping hand between the sheets and the so gently, where you been, for the violent life, and you start for the day without the morning and the yearning. Burning desire for the thought you ignite my core, for the flaming and the burns and the cry out the more, for the floor, the water stars, the light, and the midnight sky. Swallow the hours for the silent ride, for the space of hunger over your nowhere to hide, for the dissolving of the deep, the deep, and this is where the sleep, this electric embrace, this world, the linger for the bloody truth, stitching new for the crunch line, our duty for the giving and motion, for the motionless and the gifts of the river we were given and led, even the people through the key for the whisper into the fame, the deep for this awareness of this child play, and for any cry. Remember the crashing of the past and the constant sighs of your across the twilight skies. This stars on the line for the attention to the pure and your final butterfly feet. All consuming your first, and whether there's something left to take care of you, I can find what's left. In the perfect distance, find the shrink, the thought for the bridge of the whispers, fall for soft, for throw the waking, aching cracks of the heart to refine. Wasted potential for the all could have been, for the never will be the breeze. Something I refuse to forget. Morning news, stretched, half asleep. Face the melody for the play for keeps. But it's not as bold as you thought. Or think that this to be the only crowd. For this to I'm in town. For this to be the sky's word of fire. Was disappointed for the sleepiness too. For this love bouquet whispers secrets to mine.